As we celebrate Batman Day, why not cover one of the most recognizable heroes in DC Comics? How good is he in DC Dark Legion? And did his most recent rework come out to be a buff or a nerf? Let's discuss it. Before we get to today's main presentation, I have a special announcement. The channel will be celebrating Batman Day by hosting a 2000 Planet Coin giveaway. If you are interested in entering this giveaway, what you are going to do is you're going to go into your game profile and you're going to copy this UID. It'll be safe. Nothing wrong will happen to your account if you share that number. But what you're going to do is in the comment section of this YouTube video, you're going to copy paste this number alongside with the keyword Batman. Make sure that inside, however you want to phrase it, if you have a comment about Batman, just make sure that the keyword Batman is listed in there, because I'm going to be using a tool as a comment picker, and it's going to be looking for the keyword Batman alongside your account number. When I do host the drawing, which I'll let the drawing go for a couple of days before I select the winner, it's going to be looking for the keyword, and then once I get your number, I will then just place that in the website and then send you that 2000 Planet Coins. Now, for those of you that are not lucky enough to get the Planet Coins, the content creator program for DC Dark Legion was able to give me 5 codes that I can share with you. So 5 of you are going to be able to get these rewards if you are not lucky enough to get the Planet Coins. Again, I need your UID, the keyword Batman. I will be doing the drawing. I will announce the winners. In my Discord, I will be offering the recorded video of that drawing alongside with a pinned comment on this video, where you can look to see if you won by looking for your account number. So, best of luck to you in getting those Planet Coins or getting some of these rewards here as part of the code giveaway. Good luck. Enjoy it. Happy Batman Day. When it comes to the DC universe, Batman is one of the most recognizable characters. He is not only the patriarch of the Bat family, which we have designation here, but he's also part of the Trinity that encompasses the Justice League. So he is part of that triangle with Wonder Woman and Superman. So of course, when we started playing the game, we saw Wonder Woman being offered to us as a legendary hero that opened up the game, but also we had the starting character in the bleed be Superman. Alongside with that though, we had the opportunity here, if we wanted to get a starter pack that offer us Batman to unlock him. Of course, if you're a free-to-play player, you were at the mercy of the mother boxes to try to unlock those shards that you needed to get Batman. But one of the avenues right away was to get a starter pack to then continue to not only get him in your account, but to level him. So as you can see here, in this pack is offering you a level 25 Batman right away. So there is no question that when it came to the development of the game, they made it an effort to provide the Trinity right up front for you to start building. Now, over time, of course, then come all these other cast of characters that were introduced that also then surrounded him to be part of the Bat family. Now, the question is then, when it comes to gameplay with Batman, does he fit better with the Justice League designation, or does he fit better here with his Bat family counterparts? Well, let's look at his kit really closely, because that is essentially where the answer lies. And not only that, this is the kit that now is presented in the game after his rework, which was released on or about August 29. Yes, one of his skills had a little bit of a rework. Now, before we go on to talk about Batman as a character in the game, let's go over his skills really quick. So, in terms of skill Batmobile, essentially what he's doing is that he is dealing damage based on the attack that he has, based on the star level, right? As these star levels, you start getting them elevated into the gold and the red, you're going to get a greater percentage. But the key here is that the amount of damage that he does is dependent on how many Justice League members are part of the team. Now, That is one of the key things, right? Given that he has a Justice League designation. But at the same time, we also do have to keep in mind that there is a cast of characters in the game that allow him to form a composition that is part of what we recognize as the Bat family. But right away in the Batmobile Ultimate, you can tell right away that one of the key features that is lacking here is that he gains some type of attribute, that he gains a bonus by being part of the Bat family. So is this then a hindrance when it comes to trying to put him together to go alongside Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood? Well, as you can see here, this is really now restricted to the three Justice League members. Now, the major rework that happened actually occurred within the Ultimate here in the Batmobile. What was happening is, as you can see here on the top, at least with this one purple star, is that he is dealing 600% damage off his attack. Now, that used to be at 500%. And he had actually much more scaling coming about when he had Justice League members alongside with him, right? The damage that he was dealing was dependent on whether there were 3, 4, or 5 other Justice League members alongside with him. So the more Justice League members there were in composition, the more damage is dealt. Now, in his rework, what really happened is that they buffed the amount of damage right here at the start. So, for example, here for this purple, in the blue, it's 600%. With the purple, then it goes up to 700%, whereas previously was 420 and then 500%. This is just examples, okay? Of course, if you get more stars or you elevate the color of the stars, you're going to get more damage. But the way that they decided to kind of rework him is to say, okay, we're going to give you more damage at the front, and then you're going to get an additional damage on the back end, based if you are able to bring 2 other Justice League members to form a composition of 3 Justice League allies alongside with him to then deal that additional damage. In his Dark Knight Detective skill, what he is able to do during a specified time interval, based on the star level of your character, is that he is able to dodge during a basic attack, and he throws a batarang. The batarang then interrupts the target. So it kind of allows you in a way to CC control the target that he is going after. But at the same time, he then also not only deal damage, but he's able to then become untargetable and gain physical defense. So it makes him tougher to bring down during the battle. If we look at his 3-star skill, he is able to then add to any warriors that you bring onto the field an ability for them to get an increase in dodge. All right, so they're able to then avoid damage if at all possible during the fight. With his 4-star skill here, he is able to deal damage. Not only that, but he has an opportunity to add a debuff to the targets on the field. In this case, is reducing their attack, which you know is going to be integral if you use them in something like Meta Brawl or PvP for the map. So he is able to disrupt the target and also debuff anybody that is on the field that he's going up against, which actually becomes key in some aspects of PvP. Now, I Am Vengeance, essentially what it is that based on the number of characters that are on the field, especially if they're Justice League members, that each one of them will then grant him 1 stack of attack up. So he gets a little bit more of a damage boost. But in the whole scheme of things is how exactly then does he fit in with all the other characters in the field. Now, unfortunately for Batman is that he really does not have anything in his kit, like I have said before, that afford him the opportunity to really gain an advantage of being part of the Bat family. But that shouldn't dissuade you from trying to find a place for him there, because there are definitely a cast of characters here that you can form a very good PvP composition that can probably carry you, especially when it comes to Meta Brawl or 3v3. Okay, so here in this example here in the Fog of Shadows, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can use Batman to kind of, target the Deathstrokes here, kind of keep things in check. Try to see if I can get that 50% attack down to proc. Give enough time for possibly here Robin or Nightwing to bring these guys down before they are taken down. Okay, so here what I'm going for is I'm going to try to see if Batman can stabilize the fight a little bit. Okay, let's see here who died. And this Nightwing get one shot. He's going to try. And the Deathstroke is trying to go. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so Batman is down. But I'm hoping he essentially what I was hoping for here is just to give enough time for everybody else to do what it needed to do. And that's exactly what we have here. So that is one of the pieces, at least, that we can, at least from this, really use Batman to try to help out the rest of the characters do what we needed them to do. And that is to get past those Deathstrokes. And that's exactly what I was going for here. So for this example here, I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of how I'm using Batman in Meta Brawl. And essentially here is just to put him in a composition like this to battle somebody like Nightwing, right? So I'm trying to interrupt the target. I'm trying to add attack down, try to minimize the damage here. And hopefully this gives me enough time to bring somebody like Nightwing down. So that's exactly what I'm going to go for here. And this is exactly what I'm going to look for here. So place that attack down. Hopefully Martian Manhunter, Superman, and Supergirl can do the amount of damage that I need them to do to bring all of this down and minimize the effect that Nightwing then offers to this composition, because he is the major driving force here. Okay, so my Superman is down. We're gonna have to check to see if we can counter the Joker here. Okay, so there is the control by Crypto, and there is Supergirl's damage. And did we get away with it? We did. So that's exactly how I'm using Batman. It's mostly of that Justice League formation to try to take advantage of that. Now, he's not like a big damage dealer. Let's look at the numbers here. Let's look at the stats. So you can kind of see he's not that big damage dealer. All I'm looking for is for him to apply that attack down and to possibly control Nightwing if that is the target that he's going after. Just enough time for my Superman, Supergirl, and Martian Manhunter to do what I need him to do, to just then corral the rest of the composition, corral Nightwing, and then try to bring him down. And that's exactly how I'm using Batman. Here in 3v3, there are a couple of logs here that I can show you where I have actually then put a formation together that essentially does, it's the Superman family with the Batman right behind him. And so if I see anything that somebody is trying to target me, once they see the Sup family here, that they're bringing in some type of assassin right at me. So in this here, in this composition, it just happened to be a Legion of Doom composition, that there is at least some level here that Batman can help me control this assassin to make sure he doesn't go after everybody else and then bring him down. And as you can see here, it actually played to my favor, not showing up that Batman. So I don't think that they were ready for that one. So let me keep going down here and see if I can find other logs here. So you can see on this one here, same thing. There was a Nightwing based composition. They probably saw that I had here Superman in the front. So they just assume in the back line that it was going to be Supergirl, Crypto, and Superboy, most likely. But in this case, it just happened to be Batman. And he was able to then help out and control Nightwing in that battle. At least that's what it looks like. Let me look at this one here. Same thing here. The first composition is the one that won, and it just happened to be one that went up against the Bat family. So that's exactly how I'm trying to form this type of composition here to try to help me to combat anything here in 3v3. So that's kind of the idea that I have when it comes to Batman and utilizing Batman. As you can see here, he brought his own Batman in this composition to try to counter all of this with Justice League members with it. So that's essentially how we're seeing him play in 3v3. Batman is being used mostly as part of the Justice League compositions than he is as a Bat family. Anything in regards to the Bat family is more, centric around Nightwing and then trying to put other heroes together alongside with him. Not only that, but there also is the combination with the Teen Titans, so it adds a little bit more of a variety there because you can protect it with somebody like Raven or even Starfire now, that Starfire is available in the game. So overall, my impressions here when it comes to the one of the heroes here that is part of the Trinity, when it comes to Batman, that I do really think that any major composition that you're going to try to form with him, that you're going to try to take advantage of this Justice League designation that he has been given, and given that there is no really boost that he is afforded being part of the Bat family, this is exactly where I would probably center around. And if you're going to make him part of any type of composition, that is probably where you want to focus here. So, as we are celebrating Batman Day here, at least in the game DC Dark Legion, that is what Batman has to offer. So, if you do have him, you know, try to level them according to your level of spending. If you just want to try to get as many of these shards as you can with the mother boxes, then best of luck to you with the RNG. Of course, if you're a spender, you're going to try to get as many of these packs as you can to try to get as many shards so then you can boost them up. But that's definitely a choice every player has to make when they play DC Dark Legion. That'll do it for this video, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I will see you all in the next one, and good luck in the giveaway.